Hi, it's Twi. Hello, hope you guys are doing good. Ah, there's my game. Okay, let me minimize. Boom. Hope you guys are doing good. Happy Friday evening. Hope you've had a chill sort of conclusion to your week. I'm just kind of settled in for the night. Nothing too crazy for today. I thought about a decent few ways to go for today, but I ended up deciding to just do something nice and chill, nice and easy. So we're just gonna hop back on good old Minecraft world for the first time in a while. I am going to probably want more iron. I have some, but I'm just gonna do some mining while I sort of reacclimate to playing this game. It's been a while. It's been too long. Gold. I have umamusume brain rot. I see gold and my brain immediately goes, gold ship. Oh my god. To be fair, literally like minutes prior to this stream, I was not only playing umamusume, but also doing gold ship runs. You know what? Understandable connection, brain. I get it. Yo, I posted about this earlier. But I got clocked so hard earlier this morning. I went on Steam and I was opening the marketplace, or not the marketplace, but just like the storefront, and I hovered over it for a moment. And I kid you not, in terms of like recommending games, it was like, because you liked horses, gambling, sports, racing. I was like, damn, bro, just say that I've been playing umamusume. Like, oh my god. They really said, because you like all of these, just go back to playing umamusume, buddy. It is every genre you've ever asked for, according to our algorithms. I felt so targeted. Not in a way that was wrong. It was really funny, though. Like, sometimes, you know, a lot of people have their gripes about algorithms, like, understanding them and paying too much attention to what they're doing. And I think that it's totally, like, true. And you don't want, like, the algorithms to be totally, like, in your business 24/7. That being said, it is kind of funny sometimes when the algorithm just, like, actually, like, gets you. Like, majorly. Oh, that's a spawner. I don't even have, like, a sword to break the webs. Shall I make one? I have sticks, I do. Alright. There we go. Now I can break cobwebs. Oh! Oh! My bad. I got spooked. Just the fact that it came from the other side. That's supposed to come from over there. The spawner's this way. There we go. Now we're safe. Yeah, it was kind of funny. Before stream, I did something I haven't done in a really long time. I was watching a TED Talk, which I genuinely don't even remember the last time that I've watched a TED Talk before this. Because it feels like such a foregone thing. Like, I don't know what happened to TED Talks. I don't know if they're still making them and they just fell off, or if it's like not very common anymore. I really don't know what happened with TED Talk, but I was watching one that I got recommended of this guy who I always see on YouTube Shorts. He's like a linguist guy. I don't remember exactly what his name is. It's something with an A. But he'll always like make a lot of videos about like modern language and like the etymology of new gen slang words that come up on social media, or also like the etymology of like, he just talks about a lot of different language stuff. Like he'll also, I've seen him like make up languages, like just straight up, just the type of guy to invent a language because he's bored. Which I think stuff like that is pretty funny. But, you know, I remember I saw, I don't know if he's in his like public speaking arc, because I saw he did like a public speech at a school assembly for a bunch of kids where he started, he wanted to like show them how you can feel seen when somebody speaks to you in your like native language when you're not expecting it. And so he started speaking like Gen Alpha slang. Like a very professional, scripted, well thought out speech. He would start using words like cooked and like, you know, some of it's forced, like saying shit like skibbity or whatever, but it was funny to see him like trying to weave in like as much like brain rot lingo as possible. And so to see him then go on and do like a whole TikTok, but that's not even what I meant to say. A whole TED Talk, wrong talk, a whole TED Talk about how stuff like TikTok is like affecting the way that language is evolving and spreading. It was pretty interesting to me, to be honest. I thought it was cool to like draw parallels with that kind of stuff. And I thought it was really funny. At the end of his TED Talk, he was like, and I'll leave you with one more piece of Gen Z slang, usually after a very long-winded speech or ramble. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Like, he actually used thank you for coming to my TED Talk in the ironic sense to end his TED Talk, which I thought was such a goofy but really smart idea. It's just interesting seeing somebody try and, like, use an analytical lens on modern day slang, because it feels so brainless as, like, a concept with how a lot of, you know, new language comes up nowadays. Like, I remember he was literally talking about how Riz went from being, like, pretty much a completely obscure word to, like, the Oxford Dictionary word of the year in 1 year. Which is a crazy swing if you think about it. Like, for language to develop that fast is wild. And it's not like it filled a specific, like, niche that was important and we didn't have a word for. It was just funny. Like, language evolution is so stupid now. It was just dumb. So we started using it, you know? Or, like, he was talking in his TED Talk about how a lot of, like, modern language is derived from really stupid places. Like, he was saying, you know, if I was really enjoying eating burritos, I could call myself burrito-pilled. I could say I'm feeling really burrito-pilled, which would be, like, in reference to incel, like, lingo, sort of like an extension, like using the, like, suffix of pilled or whatever. Which is funny, because I'd never think of it like that, but pilled is from, like, pretty ridiculous places to steal your lingo from. And at the same time, it's still funny, though. That, or, like, core is, like, a very similar one. I remember there was, like, he pulled up a part of, like, TikTok's business articles where they're like making statements for investors and like businesses trying to use TikTok and shit like that. And they showed how literally they were using like the algorithm boost to the term cottagecore to like get people to buy like cottagecore like merch and like decorations for their house and shit like that. It was like like the way that he put it in the TED Talk is like TikTok assigned you a label to make your identity and then sold you stuff to buy with it, which is kind of crazy to think about, that they can actually like have enough influence to do that. But that's just like the era we're in now, which is kind of crazy but interesting. Also, hello guys, hello TND, hello Jesus, hello Vextro, what's up? Hope you guys are doing good. Happy Friday evening. But yeah, I thought that was a funny watch earlier. It was interesting to see a TED Talk in the big 2025. Because like I said, I feel like TED Talks used to be huge, man. I feel like I used to watch so many of those. Like, I don't even know how long it would be now. It feels like more than 5 years. I don't know if it's quite 10. But back in my day. And it's just one of those things where you sit and you wonder, like, what happened, man? Where'd they go? Times change. I mean, yeah, you know, I'm sure. I feel like I remember seeing maybe a video essay or something a while back about how TED Talks, like, kind of just started letting anybody go up there and they went down in quality. I don't really know what happened. I don't know if that's true or not. But for whatever reasons it may be. I hope that it makes a resurgence to have people just go up and talk about shit that they think is cool. Oh my god! There's raiders outside of my door. What the heck, bro? Why are you here? How did you get here? Hello? Are you guys seeing this? I thought that I had to like go up to like a tower or something for these guys to be here. I'm scared to leave my house. Yo, what happened? Why are they here? They've come to... What? These guys are trying to rob me? Oh, come on, dude. Do I have to kill him? Or do they just go away? Wait, where'd they go? Where are they? I don't even see them anymore. Are they just gone? Hello? Like, I don't even see them in the distance. Where are they hiding? Are they around the corner? Oh, yeah. I've been spotted. Ow. Ow. That was easy. That was about the least intimidating guy I think that could have possibly tried to get me out the door. Yeah, I hope you guys do anything cool today. I feel like I had mostly a pretty slow day. I think I've had a pretty good day. At first, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I think I'll talk about this now just so that it doesn't like linger on my mind. But I was in a kind of bad mood earlier today for like two reasons. In one way, I don't know, I was just kind of like a bit tired, and I was supposed to stream in the afternoon like I normally do, but sometimes this isn't just for streaming for me, but if I don't do something for like a few days or longer, I'll like build up anxiety to like step back into it. So like, I don't know, I was just like, I felt like I had a bit of like a mental block coming on stream. But the other thing for me, more so, is I feel like social media has just been really like negative to look at, but also hard to ignore. Mostly referring to the whole V-Shoujo scandal that just happened over the past like not even week. Which, I mean, it's impossible to ignore something like that. You know, it is genuinely probably the biggest scandal in VTubing history. They had like almost all of the biggest names in the West that were indie at one point. They had, like, you know, they advertised themselves like a safe haven for people who left other corporations to be like a better, safer place. And I think outwardly they had like such a good reputation for it to all just be so predatory behind the scenes and like incredibly mismanaged. It was really wild to watch sort of unravel in real time. And it's one of those things where, you know, no matter how much you look at it, all you can really feel is kind of just sad or upset or angry because a bunch of people got wronged. And like, truthfully, I don't know that they're gonna get their money back either, because I would not be surprised if you know, he's going bankrupt. But, you know, there are silver linings to it. Like, you know, all these people are out of that now, and it should probably be like a good warning shot to people in the West for looking at contracts in the future. And of course, it is a good time to be an Iron Mouse fan, man. Like, over $1 million raised for charity, and also like the new song that came out together was so good, man. But it's definitely like almost impossible to go on like Twitter or something right now, or even YouTube, and not have something being thrown in your face in the first 2 seconds of opening it about how somebody got screwed by VShojo. After a while, I was just kind of in a bad mood. Like, part of the reason I didn't come on stream earlier is I was just in a bad mood. I was just kind of tired, and I experienced something I don't think I've ever really experienced before, which is that I was just kind of like, I felt like I had a lot of negative energy and I didn't know what to do with it. So I just went and I worked out. Like, I did like a whole upper body thing for like 20 minutes, and then I went for a jog. I was like, I don't even, you know, I had a shower. It wasn't even like particularly with a goal in mind. It wasn't like a routine thing for me. I was just like, I just need to move, bro. I just need to not look at a screen, do something with my body. Which, admittedly, I do think it actually helped me feel a lot better after. So, that was nice. I got to do some exercise today, so I feel good about that. Yeah, it's surprisingly good as like a stress reliever in a lot of ways. I just threw on some music. I was listening to the older Suisse album, not the oldest one, Spectre. That's what it is. I was listening to Spectre because I had it, one of my downloads on my phone while I went, which was kind of nice because I haven't really listened to that album in a long time, but it was like probably my favorite album when it dropped for over a year, I want to say. I really like that album, so it was a nice like chill way to just sort of get up, get around, get my mind off of everything for a bit. Because like otherwise I've been pretty good recently too. I posted about it recently, but I made some cookies yesterday, which was really nice. For the first time, I made white chocolate macadamia nut cookies, which was really fun for me because I haven't had them in like a really long time. It feels like I definitely remember eating them when I was a lot younger, like a kid, pretty much. But I don't think I've had one in almost 10 years. So I made a whole like ginormous batch. It was expensive though. I gotta say, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna be making white chocolate macadamia nut cookies is specifically, because dude, like, I kid you not, 100 grams of macadamia nuts was like $7. It was a lot, bro. I was surprised. Like, it costs a lot of money to get macadamia nuts. I don't know if it's like a shortage of supply, like they're hard to grow, or if it's like difficult to import, or both, like low demand. It's probably a combination of factors. I don't know what it is about macadamia nuts specifically that made them cost so much, but I was like, well, you know, I'm gonna just roll with it, make it good. And they came out really good. I think I received indirectly like the highest praise that I can for my baking, which is that I gave a few to my friend, and he thought they were good. So I sent my friend home with like maybe 4 or 5 cookies. And I kid you not, like within 5 minutes, I'm pretty sure, of him getting home, he messaged me And he was like, yo, my mom wants to know if she can have your cookie recipe. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. So, of course, I just went and I wrote up my whole recipe. Because that's like, to be fair, it's not necessarily like it was a whole new recipe for me. I just took the exact same recipe that I make chocolate chip cookies with. I subbed the dark chocolate for white chocolate. And I added macadamia nuts, and that's it. Like, it's a very like flexible, easy, like cookie base recipe that I've worked out over the years. So it was like kind of sweet, and I feel like, you know, being able to pass somebody else my recipe feels good too. It's like, you know, maybe they'll get to enjoy it. I feel like that's really nice. That's really fun. I want to be able to like pass my recipe down for them to enjoy. Oh, can I sleep? There we go. But yeah, I've been enjoying them. I probably offset like everything that I burned while I was exercising today. Since I had pizza yesterday and I ate the leftovers for breakfast. And I also made cookies, which I definitely ate a good few, you know. But, you know, to be fair, I will say, even though I've gotten into exercising a little bit recently, I don't feel like it's one of those things where I have to, like, really seriously, like, watch my diet and, like, calorie count and have like a whole routine that I'm sticking to. I'm not in it for like gains in that sense. It's more so just like, I don't know, it feels good sometimes to move my body and exercise. And if anything, like if I can build a little bit of muscle, like I don't really care if it's visible, but if I can like build a little bit of muscle, if I can feel a bit stronger, that'd be cool, right? Like, I don't think it has to be anything deeper than that. Yeah, there was a bit, you know, ironically, before I was actually doing much of any exercising in any capacity, where I found myself on like fitness YouTube, and I was watching a lot of videos about, you know, people who would be like talking about how you should start working out and how you should diet, and you know, even like watching bodybuilders doing like food challenges and shit and just like talking about it, because it was kind of interesting to me, and I still think it is kind of interesting. But in the same vein, it's like, you know, you don't gotta approach it like a bodybuilder to see the benefits. If anything, I think that it's one of the many things you can apply to the recent, like, I think growing sentiment of just make it happen now, you can make it good later. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point in watching a billion videos about how to work out properly and how to have the perfect gym session and yada, 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 and sitting in your room on your ass looking on it from your room the whole time, when you could just go and start moving. Like, just pick up the bare minimum and just get out there and, you know, figure it out later. Like, if you're really into it, then you can, like, decide why, you know, once you're more into it, you can have more of like a why. Like, why do I want to train X, Y, Z? Why do I want to diet in a certain way? And as long as you have a why, you actually might stick to it. But if you don't even like have a reason other than like, oh, I don't know, this guy on YouTube said it's the right way to work out, you're probably not going to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's more important than anything else to just like figure out a way to do it without injuring yourself, and after that point, just fucking move, bro. Like, it doesn't matter how you do it. Just whatever will work. This is a cute horse. I like the speckles. Eat wheat. Oh, the cow is walking up too. I didn't think about that. All right, come on, befriend. No, come on. Allow me. Yippee! We got a horse. I will give you a saddle and some shining armor. And now you are my friend. Yay! What do we name it? Should I name my Minecraft horse Haru Urara? Is that too cheesy? I probably will. I won't lie. I gotta represent. Oh, by the way, TND, I joined the same club that you're in. I joined Ria's club. Cause on umamusume. Cause I had my own club, but there was like nobody in there. And I was like, I want to be able to collect rewards and whatnot. So I've since gone ahead and joined that. So I look forward to hopefully being able to collect more like club rewards and stuff like that. I still don't know a ton about how it works. I just tried to make a gate with chicken. What am I doing? I've started doing the thing where you like trade running shoes and stuff like that. Wait, I need more sticks. Boom. Okay, let's make a little pen for our horse. Oh, this is gonna be like pitifully small. Oh my god. It'll do. Alright, come here, friend. Let's get you safe so that I don't lose you. Oh, can you not fit them through a fence gate? Huh. Maybe I need like more fence gates? I think the only thing club does for now. Well, there's also like monthly rewards at the end of the month for like your club rank, right? I think. I'm not sure how much that's gonna matter at the moment, because I don't know that it's gonna be a particularly high rank club anyway, but who cares? I thought it'd be nice to be in a club with some people I recognize anyway. I think part of what it was is I was watching like a video about support cards, I think. And I saw somebody basically mention the like Mejiro McQueen like stamina card as a card that you could like pretty much get free MLB on, and I was like, what? Because I didn't even remember how I had my one copy. And then I found out you buy it with club points, and I'm like, oh, I need to get in a club. I need to get this card. Because it would be nice to have a good stamina card that I don't have to use a rental for. I did pull a Super Creek recently, actually, which is really cool. So, right now, I was originally gonna save all of my carrots to try and MLB Kira-san. Or like I was gonna like blow all of them until the banner was over to try and get Kira-san like my last copy. But I think I'm gonna just save all of my carrots for when Super Creek comes around so that I can try and get some copies on that. Cause like 1 LB would be like probably still decent, but at least 2 LVs would be quite good. Like to the point where I might not even like, not even might, I probably wouldn't bother having to rent it every time. So down, because I think it's only in like 3 banners or something, if I remember correctly. I'm 2 in the hole, bro. I was looking up like the gacha banner history so I could see how long. Well, like, no, I don't know exactly how long it'll be, but how many banners until the next thing, and it was like, oh boy, wait, Super Creek is not that far away. I gotta start saving now. So I gotta be ready. Yay, friend. Whee. Okay. What do I want to like... Okay, first of all, where do I want to make my track? I don't know that I have like an excellent piece of flat land as it is, so I might have to do some just leveling of the ground. Do I want to go up the hill? Maybe? Maybe like somewhere up here? Oh, it's kind of dubious though. There's a ravine. And then there's like a lake there. Why am I near so much water? Ah. Okay. Do I have enough space here even? I don't know that I do. Maybe over here. Maybe like up the hill, but on this side. Put out the entire month of July banners a while back. Supposedly there'll be a post soon for all the August banners. That'll be helpful, yeah. I'm expecting Super Creek will probably be like a September banner, if I had to guess. Like maybe mid-late September, but at the same time, I don't necessarily think... I don't know that I can save carrots enough that it's worth it for me to keep pulling Kira-san right now. Because that was my, like, main consideration, right? Is, like, will I have enough carrots anyway that I can keep pulling Kira-san right now? And at the very least, spark one Super Creek later? Because if I wanted to spark Kira-san again, I think I would need another, like, 120 pulls. Which is, like, probably not happening before the banner's over. So, it pretty much would boil down to, like, just if I straight hit another one or not, I think. Unless I got really lucky, of course, but seems rather unlikely. I'm still getting used to like the gameplay loop of gacha games, man, when it comes to like strategizing when you're gonna pull. Because I feel like Honkai is the only gacha that I was like even remotely into before. But I think it feels like I've instantaneously fallen deeper down the rabbit hole with Umamusume. The fact that it plays like a roguelike, oh my god, bro, I'm hooked. I mentioned this earlier, but literally, like, I opened the store on Steam earlier today, and Steam was like, because you liked horses, gambling, racing, sports. And I was like, damn, okay, man, just say that I like Umamusume, I get it. Tell me to close the store page, it's already the perfect game. It's not even why I was looking at the Steam market. I wasn't looking for games. What it was is that my friend coerced me into playing a couple rounds of Counter-Strike yesterday for the first time in a while. And I got dropped a case, so I was just trying to see if I listed it on the Steam market properly. But I just opened it and I got absolutely clocked by Steam. Which was really funny, to be honest. I wonder, I feel like it really is almost exclusively, like, saying that because of Umamusume, though, because for gambling, I don't know, I guess like Balatro I was playing a fair bit of, so maybe there's that. But aside from that, when I try to think of like what else, I definitely wasn't playing any other horse games. Definitely not horses anywhere else. I don't really feel like I was playing racing anywhere else. Maybe Rocket League could count for sports. And I still play Rocket League sometimes. Not competitively at all. I just like go in the free play and hit the ball around. Like a very brainless activity type of thing to do for me. I don't do it too often anymore. I used to play a lot of Rocket League because my friends were like all really into it, so we would all just like grind the game together. But nowadays, I don't know, there's like only so much time for so many different games. I can only be bothered with so many. And right now, Umamusume is the fixation. I mean, to be honest, I think what it is, I just don't play ranked games that often anymore. Or if I do play a game with a ranked mode, I, like, do not care about my rank anymore. I used to be so serious about, like, grinding ranks in games and getting really good. Because, you know, with my old friend group, it was kind of like, that's just what we all did, you know what I mean? That was how we hung out, is we would all hop on and play, like, competitive games together. And it was fun, like, it was good times, don't get me wrong. But it's also really stressful, and it can kind of suck sometimes, because if your, like, whole social circle is around playing competitive games with people, and you are bad, or not even bad, but just, like, not as good as your friends at those games, it can make you feel, like, lesser in some ways. Like, I don't think that I would struggle with that nearly to the same degree anymore. But this was when I was younger, you know what I mean? And so, like, almost all of my friends were, like, online friends where we would be grinding the same ranked games. Like, the entire group, everybody is grinding the same games. And so, I would be, like, a little bit worse than them, usually. And in my, like, narrow perspective, I would feel like I sucked. And then, you know, occasionally you get out of your own bubble sometimes, right? Like, I also remembered some of my high school friends and, like, friends of friends from there played Rocket League too. And they asked me to play one time, and I was like, sure. And they thought I was a god because I was, like, you know, compared to the average person, I was quite good, right? But sometimes you get so in your own bubble with stuff like that that it's very easy to forget that, you know, at the end of the day, you're playing a game to have a good time and just, like, do cool shit. And doing cool shit has nothing to do with comparing yourself to other people. Cool is, like, so relative. It can be anything. It can be anything you want, really. If you think it's cool, right? Like, that's the fun part about having, like, inward values, is that you can kind of just, like, feel rewarded for whatever, as long as it personally has meaning to you. And I think that's cool as hell. Like, you know, I think it's another one of those things where I do still experience the competitiveness in other aspects of my life too. I'm just, like, sort of a little bit better at sussing it than I used to be. And I try to not be hard on myself, right? But sometimes, you know, I'll think about, I don't know, like, VTubing related stuff, like how good I am at audio mixing and singing and stuff like that. And I'll, you know, it's very easy to compare yourself to other people on stuff like that too. And, you know, wonder how it is. And then sometimes, you know, friends or, like, people in adjacent communities will say that they really like my voice, or, you know, they'll ask me about audio engineering advice and stuff like that. And to me, a lot of the time, I feel like I'm an amateur, like I'm still just figuring out what I'm doing. But it's cool to know that, like, you know, as much as I feel that way sometimes, I also have, like, come far enough and experienced enough that I do still have some self-esteem with working on stuff like that. And there are other people who can appreciate it in a way that I can't sometimes, which is neat. And the other thing too is, like, how we're all human about it, you know. I remember I saw a post on Twitter earlier today from this really great guy named Coffee Run. Coffee Run, really chill guy from the little bit that I've spoken to him, although admittedly I haven't spoken to him personally much. But he's also, like, an excellent like beacon in the online content creator space for if you need audio engineering information. This guy has, like, the best, like, information threads about, like, what microphones to buy, what, like, plugins you can put on your microphones to make it sound better with your room environment, how to get into mixing, where to contact different people. It's one of those things where it's like, even for someone like me where I'm still learning, it can be nice to reaffirm stuff, even though I've been doing it for over a year. And when you're getting started out, information like that is awesome. So I remember he made a post earlier today where it was like a no stupid questions, ask me anything about audio engineering, I'll try to answer it for you, right? And I asked him a bit of a technical question that I've never seen anyone talk about before, but I always wondered about, which is when you have like... So when you're making a cover, a lot of the times you'll record like your main vocal and maybe like a vocal double for it, which is just doing the same line again to make it sound like there's... Not like there's two people talking, but like it's more full because it's kind of like there's two people singing, right? So you'll do that, and that goes in the middle, right? That goes no panning in your ears. And then you'll have your harmony layers, and those will be panned like in your left and right ears so that they sound like a little bit more distant. It makes everything a bit of a fuller sound in like general. And I've always understood that, but I was curious, when you have like more than one harmony layer going on at once, how do you decide like how much to pan it? Like, do you go like all the way left and right with one of them and then 50% on the others? Do you like 25, 50 and have like the outer sides like not hard panned? Like, you know, I was curious, like this is somebody who's much more experienced than me. I wonder like how they make that decision. And he told me like straight up, I don't know, man. I just do it by vibes. And I was like, well, that's kind of validating, actually, because that's how I do it. You just wiggle the knobs around, and you just trust your ears that it works. Like, it really does feel like audio engineering, despite being so technical, has been one of many things I've found in life. Where, at first you're trying to, like, figure out the formulas and the perfect vocal chain and all of these different plugins, and you gotta take these settings from this tutorial and it'll sound industry professional. And then at the end of the day, it's like, you put in, like, the most basic settings, and then you just, like, listen. And if it doesn't sound right to your ears, you just, like, shimmy some knobs around until it works. Like, you just move stuff until it sounds right. And it's hard to like technically quantify what sounds right means a lot of the time. You just kind of know after you listen to enough music for a while, whatever you like associate with the kind of music you want to make, right? But it's just interesting, to go into one of those like information threads with a technical question and wonder like, okay, this could be, like I'm gonna find that one trick. The like doctors hate this one trick. Audio engineers hate this one trick. Here we go. Here's my like master solution I've been waiting for. And then in reality, it's like, oh, I don't know, bro. Just move it around until it sounds good. Life is so simple at the end of the day. It always comes back to I don't know, just figure it out. Just stick with it until it works. But yeah, it's definitely on the mind because I have a lot of like audio engineering work I have to do for myself. It's a busy schedule for the Twi music career stuff in the upcoming months. Which is exciting. I have a lot of really cool projects I'm working on. I feel like I have maybe the cover I'm most excited about out of any that I've made before. Like, obviously, my original song was My Baby. I love Superstar TWI'DOL, and I, like, put everything that I had at that time into it. But I have some other cool stuff that I'm cooking right now, and I'm really stoked about it. I got, honestly, like, two of the coolest covers I've worked on so far. I have, one of them is gonna be the first duo cover I've ever done, which is cool because I think the only other time that I've had anybody else sing with me on the channel was for Christmas last year. It was the Grizzco Girlies, which was great. I need to talk to the Grisco girlies more, man. It's been a while. Rita specifically. We're too busy, man. We're too busy. I've talked to Luz and Shiny a bit because they've dragged me into the Marvel Rivals hole. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So, you know, I've had an excuse to poke them a bit. And of course with Shiny, we're talking about V3S and stuff still as well. Had to delay that, but hopefully it'll be back later in the summer. Yeah, everybody's busy, you know. Rita is notoriously like, for me, if I had to think of like one friend who is always like cooking something, it's Rita. Rita doesn't have like slow down in her vocabulary, which is really, I admire people who could do that, because like I don't know how, man. I admire people who have like such a good work ethic that they just constantly get stuff out. And I hope that I can sort of like ramp up my work ethic gradually as well. Because I'm still new to a lot of stuff, you know. I streamed for a lot of years. And I started like trying to learn how to sing for a good few years before I became a VTuber. It's not like everything happened overnight for me. But at the same time, it's a whole different vibe. Like the scale of like a lot of the kind of projects and ideas that you have usually as a VTuber. Or at least like, I'll say like an idol or corporate inspired VTuber. Because you can totally be a VTuber and just sort of act like a regular streamer, regular musician, whatever. But musician, you're going to be more busy no matter what anyway. I think music in general just takes a lot of time. But to be fair, you know, the fact that I'm working on anything makes me feel good a lot of the time. You know, I was hanging out in Calico's stream the other night, and we got on the topic of like high school, and I was like, oh my god, man, dark times. Like honestly, I was talking specifically, you know, about how she mentioned that she got into art when she was in high school, and like sometimes she would just spend like a ton of time like doing art and like nothing else. And usually it's better to like have more of a balance to your life and like what you're doing. But I was like, damn, you know, I wish that I was grinding something, you know, cool and like you know, very flexible and transformative to other stuff you might want to do in the future, like getting good at drawing. Because for me, my high school years was like grinding video games, not for prize money, not for like topping leaderboards, just to like try and outdo my friends, outdo myself. And that was like it. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, like I sunk so much time, man. It's actually funny. I think after I was out of high school, I actually did earn some prize money playing video games. But never when I was, like, actively grinding stuff while I was in high school. And part of that is probably just, like, mindset, like, mental pressure. I think that I just had a really bad time with high school. So it was like, you know, I was always tired. I was grumpy a lot. I was, like, unmotivated. And then I kind of like came out of when I left high school for a while. You know, I've talked about it before, but you know, before I was a VTuber, I played a lot of Pokemon competitively, which in some ways feels like it was very silly because it doesn't really translate to anything. It's not like I can ever really do much with that. I mean, it's cool. It's like a party trick to be good at it. Yo, there's just an Enderman in my house in mid-daylight. Oh. Oh, I might die. Oh, easy. Big ender pearl. Oh, and he gave me a grass block. Dude, you died like 10 seconds ago. Shut up. I thought he was going to teleport away. I didn't know that they would stay. Is it because I was inside? I thought the enderman would despawn. Or, well, not despawn, but like leave. Interesting. God, I have so much dirt. All of this dirt. Look at that. Yeah, I feel like in a lot of ways, I don't know, it can feel kind of wasteful to have like played games so much. But if nothing else, nowadays it's kind of cool as an adult to like have a party trick of like pulling up a random ass game that you never expect somebody to be sweaty about, and then like try and do some crazy shit. Even though I don't usually stay informed for stuff like that, but I don't know. Pokemon is like widespread enough that a lot of people know about it, so you can try and like make a connection. Even though, you know, playing competitively is a whole different beast. Or like rhythm games, you don't have to understand anything that's going on to think that it looks cool. Stuff like that. I don't think it spawned in my house. I'm wondering if he just like teleported into my house at some point. But then again, I didn't see one teleport like while we were doing all of this, so I don't know. That's like really random. I don't know how he got in there, but he gave me an ender pearl, so I'm not complaining. Very generous. Thank you, Mr. Enderman. Now I'm on my new hyper fixation. I'm gonna be the friend where people get back into umamusume randomly in a few months, and I'm gonna be like, yo, add me, and then I'll have like the most goated inheritance horse for them of all time. I say that I am having such a hard time getting good sparks, man. Oh my god, like I cannot, bro. I actually cannot. I've been trying, I've been grinding like career playthroughs specifically to try and get 3-star sparks for power and stamina. And like, it just won't come home, man. I'm barely even getting 2 stars. I am a machine that turns like a bunch of good sparks, insane rental horse, 450k fans, winning everything, 600 and all the stats. I'm a machine that turns that into 1-star guts, 2-star front runner or some shit, bro. Like, it's always the 1-star guts, man, every time. I don't know why. I don't know what I did to deserve this. But I'm trying anyway. It'll come home one day. The real gambling for umamusume has nothing to do with pulling the banners. It's pulling the good horse parent after your run. I got 1 3-star recently in like the randomest way. I got a 3-star speed Haru Urara, which is funny. It's definitely funny. But you know, speed isn't like that good of a spark in a lot of ways. And Haru is kind of like, I love her, but I don't know that she's like the best parent. Like the skill doesn't even matter like at all. I don't even think she passes it down. But I think I have it up at the moment anyway, because I don't have anything better to offer people. Yeah, I know it's random between the 5, and you have a 5% chance. I think the math is like, if you get a stat to 600, there's a 5% chance at the end of the run that you'll spark it 3 stars. Which means that as long as... Well, for stamina and power specifically, because those are the 2 that I care about, I should get a 3-star stamina or power spark in 10 runs, statistically, by that logic. But I don't think I've gotten one in like 20 or maybe even 30 runs. Like, it's fake. It's not real. It doesn't work. It's so painful. And like, the funnier thing to me too is I actually did get 1 3-star power spark on my account when I was super new. I had no good inheritance horses at all, and it was on Bakshin. It was on Bakshin, which is kind of unfortunate because I don't want to build front runner like on anything, and she also has a really high front runner spark. So it's caused me when I was trying to like pass that 3-star power down to keep getting front runner sparks on characters that weren't even front running. It's just silly, man. It's just it's such a difficult grind. Not in the sense that there's any skill to it. Just needs patience. But at the same time, it's like Umamusume is a really chill game to do while you're doing other stuff in a lot of ways. Like, I like to sit down and read all of the dialogue and no quick mode or skipping or anything when I'm doing my first playthrough with like any of the girls. But as soon as I know the story for them, like I'll just throw on a YouTube video a lot of the time or something and just use it as like a background activity while I'm doing that. They do. That's what they do to get people to keep playing for the grind, to get the best stats. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like a lot of these gacha games, a lot of these gacha games sort of make it so that free to play is viable, but you're paying with your time and your attention much more so than with your wallet, even if you do choose not to spend any money. Like, I was watching an interesting video essay while I was playing Umamusume, of course, the other day. And it was about a guy who was a bit older than me. I think he was like, I don't remember if he was 25 or 29. It was a pretty decent difference, but in his later 20s. And he was talking about how something he does now is he only plays video games on the weekend, just like how it was when he grew up, and how, you know, it gave him like a lot of clarity mentally, and, you know, it let him focus on his family and other hobbies and yada yada, right? Employed normal person shit. No, I mean, it was an interesting watch, and it was like a good point. There was a line I really liked that he said, where it was, you know, he was talking about how he used to play gacha games and how he had friends that would still do it, and, you know, the dailies and everything like that take up so much time. And he said a line like, play the game that respects your time. And I was like, that's a really cool line. I'm still gonna play the gacha. That's not gonna stop me. But that was a really interesting line. I've never heard somebody say something like that, but it was an insightful, like, food for thought type of idea, you know what I mean? To look at it like that, where, you know, you should choose a game that you don't have to feel bad about, like, not grinding constantly. And I think there's a lot of merit to having like a mentality like that too. I think it's important to remember that even for these games where they have like daily quests and, you know, they encourage you to like be on it all the time, it doesn't really matter. Like, you know, you're playing a game for fun at the end of the day. And so, you know, if you're not having fun, you don't have to sit there and grind out quests for the sake of grinding them. Like, just play game, enjoy game, and, you know, whatever shape that's taking is fine. You know, it doesn't matter if you're not like the #1 class in Umamusume. Like, you're not gonna gain anything other than your own self-accomplishment for that anyway. So, you know, mental framing on stuff like that is always like valuable, and something that I'm finding more and more of as I try and like get older and be more mature about my addictions. Because, you know, it's true. Like, it's the exact same mentality that you can get into for trying to be high ranked in like shooters or other like games with comp modes that I used to have as well a lot, right? And he compared it to Halo in his video, and for me, I think it would probably be like Counter-Strike or Valorant or like rhythm games. I was very grindy as well. But you know, sometimes it can be very easy to like get so caught up in like trying to accomplish something that would genuinely make you feel proud and like good, that you stop like actually looking forward to sitting down to play a game. Like it's no longer, you know, you're sitting down like when you were a kid, booting up the game after your other responsibilities, and you're like excited to engage with it. It's just like part of your daily routine, and you know, you're almost moving out of obligation for something that should be for fun, right? Like there's no real world benefit per se, unless it's like a mental shift that you're experiencing because, you know, playing the game makes you feel happy or fulfilled or like proud. If you don't have something like that you're moving towards, sometimes you can like think of it as a hobby even though you're not even like enjoying yourself, you know what I mean? I was having that earlier today in some ways, actually. Like I was rhythm gaming a little bit because it was before I went and I worked out. I was kind of stressed. I didn't want to think. I just wanted to chill and listen to music and try and distract myself. And so I hopped on the rhythm game. And at first I was just playing songs that I liked and I was chilling and it was cool. And then as I was like a little bit more warmed up, a little bit more focused, I started trying to like go for scores, like trying to set a play that I would think was cool or something like that, right? And as I did that, I started feeling like more tired, like I wasn't having that much fun, and it was like, why am I playing right now? Like, am I even having fun right now? And that was when I got up and I was like, you know what? If I'm just gonna be moving to move anyway, like I'm just gonna go and work out at that point. And I felt better after the fact. In the moment, you know, while I was working out, I didn't feel like particularly strongly either way. But after the fact, it felt a lot better. So it can be one of those things, you know, where it's like you don't even think about it in the moment because it's just like so behaviorally ingrained. A lot of these games nowadays, you know, not even just games, like a lot of stuff on technology in general, they've like realized that stuff like your attention span and your data, because it correlates to your attention, is more valuable than your money, which is crazy to think about. It's crazy, but it's true. Like a lot of these companies would rather like try and spend more money on like figuring out how they can like perfectly target the right things at you and like influence your lifestyle and your personality than just like the money that they're spending on the thing they want to sell you on to begin with, you know. It's gotten like so late stage as a society. It's crazy. And that's not to say that it's bad to enjoy things, like, in spite of the fact that they have ulterior motives sometimes. I don't think it is at all, right? And it's not bad to enjoy, like, taking things for free. Like, you know, at the end of the day, you still have autonomy on, like, how much you let it influence you. You don't necessarily have to, like, accrue a larger debt in the sense that you're spending more money on stuff, not immediately, but later. Oh, there's a camel guy, or alpaca? I think it's an alpaca. Huh? Hello? Aren't these guys pretty rare? Wait, hay bale for emerald? Oh, damn. Wait, I gotta go grab some hay bales, dude. Wait, we got those in the village? Hold up. I got you, bro. We're about to get a bunch of emeralds. Let me dump my garbage in the chest. Excuse me. Let's go get some hay bales. And we can trade this guy. Very cool. But yeah, I've been trying not to be as caught up in like playing games sort of out of like inertia and just like moving without much intention when it comes to gaming. I mean, that being said, I've been playing an ungodly amount of umamusume, but it's also because I'm having fun with it still. Like, I think I'll probably start playing less when I'm a little bit more tired of the gameplay loop, when I've already got like more of the interesting progression done, like I have some decent like legacies, and you know, I have like a decent team and yada yada. But I also think that some of the gameplay loop down the line seems cool too. Like, I'm excited to try the Champions Meet like racing mode, where they show you what kind of like exactly what race is coming up, and you can like build a horse specifically for that. I feel like having stuff like that makes each career build that you're doing like more interesting. Oh, he'll only do that once? Aw. And then water bucket, I can do that for you as well. Boop. Come back, alpaca guy. I need my emeralds. Oh, he'll do another one. Hold up. Make another bucket for you. 1 second. I don't even know what I'm going to do with these emeralds. I'm just taking them because they feel like they're rare. But yeah, I definitely feel like I used to play like... I think what it really is I didn't used to play games that had a heavy emphasis on dailies, but I would play games that I had to keep playing them every day to stay sharp. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to keep playing well. Because when you're playing competitive gaming, like a lot, low-key, you have dailies and they're long. Because you are grinding. And you have to stay in mental form, you have to stay in physical form in some cases. Like with rhythm gaming, you know, if you stop playing for like a week, a couple weeks, months, however long, your fingers get weak, your forearms get weak, you know. Your pattern recognition skills will become less sharp. And stuff like that is very much like a factor when you're doing that. But at the same time, you know, it can be one of those things where even though you're getting on and playing every day, you need such a strong mental to do competitive gaming like that, because you don't necessarily accomplish anything. Like, you could hop on and play for hours, and the fact that you're like continuing to practice is progress, but you might not achieve anything in particular throughout that whole session, which when you're playing competitively, the whole point is to achieve stuff, right? So it can kind of, you can get into real slogs with it, you know what I mean? Whereas with like daily stuff, in some ways, like, yeah, it can be kind of like obnoxious to feel obligated to hop on and do XYZ side quest every day just so that you can compete with people or compete with where you want to be at. But also, like, they're simple, they're easy things to get done. And that's part of, like, you know, it's by design, but it's definitely a lot easier to enjoy yourself through the process of it. Which is not a bad thing at all, in my opinion. It's chill. I think the more that I've, like, expanded my horizons in life, the more that I want my gaming experience to just simply be chill. It doesn't have to be revolutionary all the time. It doesn't have to be like, you know, compared to any given metric, I'm doing something crazy. Sometimes I still like really difficult games and I like doing stuff that's a challenge. But I think that I have much less of like an inherent obligation in my mind to push myself on that front because I already feel like I'm pushing myself with other stuff. I guess that's part of why, like, getting into VTubing felt so cool for me, is because before I was into VTubing, I think a lot of why I played games like so hardcore was because I didn't feel like I had anything else going on in my life. So I was like, well, if gaming is like my one solace in this life, if there's one thing that I look forward to and it's playing games, I might as well try to be really good at them. You know, I might as well try and do something cool, make it count. When, you know, in reality, like, that's really tiring and oftentimes kind of leads nowhere. Which doesn't have to matter, but if you have nothing else going on, it kind of matters, you know? It doesn't feel great to, like, be building all your efforts on something where, you know, almost no matter how well you do, unless you are, like, absolutely world class, then it won't make a difference in the grand scheme of things. It feels a lot more like mellow now to be doing stuff, because I think one of the things I like about being a VTuber is a lot of projects are like very binary in terms of like personal satisfaction. Sometimes I'll like put out a song where I feel like I could have, you know, maybe I could have sung this better, I could have done the mix better, I could have like coordinated the project better. And even so, the fact that it was done and some people enjoyed it is enough. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect anymore. And I think that that's really cool, because I'm still a perfectionist in some ways, but I was really a perfectionist when I was younger. And it would always irk me because I also never had the like drive, or I suppose like the work ethic to really back up how hard I was on myself to try and like improve super well at everything I do. How much more of this hill is left? Ooh, that's fine. I'm chilling. We're just chilling today. It's kind of therapeutic, just mining hill, just terraforming. This is my Minecraft experience. I play it like the same way that I play chill games like Power Wash Simulator, where you know, I don't have to have like a specific building that I'm working on in mind. I'm literally just walking around like breaking stuff. Just walking around mining hill today. You know what? It doesn't need to be anything deeper than that. That's epic as it is. Hello, Hydro. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, aside from all of the umamusume grind and stuff, I definitely need to like get outside more. I feel like I need more real life socialization, man. Like I was hanging out with my friend yesterday and it was chill. It was fun. And like I said, you know, I did the baking, and like seeing something as simple as like, you know, I made some cookies, gave them to my friend, and now his family wants my recipe is like, in the grand scheme of things, does it matter? Like, not at all. But it has like such a tangible effect. It just like such a nice feeling. I think what it really is just community. Like, as much as I think that I've gotten really good over the years at finding online community and like finding people who I really vibe with on the internet, sometimes there's like a different niceness to having people in real life that you can like tangibly feel the effect of like changing something for them. And it's not that either one is like necessarily better than the other. They're just different. I think having both is always nice. But it's so expensive now, man. Like, I used to like playing badminton. I mostly played with my dad, and I loved playing badminton with my dad, but he blew out his shoulder years ago, and he's just too old now. You know, he doesn't breathe so well anymore. You know, his body doesn't, you know, stay as in good of shape as it used to. And so, you know, we still go for walks and stuff. It's not like I don't go out and like spend time with my dad, but it's not the same, right? And I used to play badminton with my friend a lot as well, but you know, people get busy and it's kind of expensive. You know, the courts cost a decent amount to rent for an hour. And it's one of those things where it's like, I really think that it sucks nowadays becoming an adult and realizing that there are almost no good third spaces anymore that don't cost money. Like, it is so hard to find community, like, offline without spending a lot of money. And even when I have been able to, like, find things, I feel like I always have to travel so far. Like, it's so, like, few and far between with opportunities for stuff like that, that I end up just, like, not being bothered. Like, you guys know, I've talked about before how I would, like, go to Scrabble clubs sometimes, because I used to play Scrabble in high school. That was like the one extracurricular thing that I did. The one way I was actually socializing with people in high school, somewhat, is that I would play Scrabble, like semi-competitively, and I had a lot of fun doing that. And I got back into it like a while ago, and honestly, it was fun. But the problem was, it was also like really far from where I lived. And after a while, like, I had some stuff come up where I didn't, you know, I couldn't go for a couple weeks, and it just sort of became like, I can't be bothered to travel that far to go there. Because a lot of the time, even though, like, there was a nice sense of community, I also wasn't necessarily developing, like, tight friendships with a lot of these people, you know what I mean? We were just kind of in the same general space, doing an activity together. And that's enough. Like, honestly, I think almost all of my best friendships in life have come out of, like, I'm doing whatever game or sport or hobby or whatever, and I end up in the proximity of somebody else also doing that thing. And we just happen to, like, hit it off and vibe after we are able to start talking because there's a shared thing happening, right? I think it's, like, the best way to meet people. Because you always have the fail-safe of whatever it is that you're currently doing to keep things just light and comfortable for everybody. But if you're, like, particularly vibing, you can, like, enjoy that thing together and, like, use that time that you're hanging out together to, like, talk about other stuff going on in your life. And that's really chill. That's really cool, I feel like. But it's so hard to, like, get that now. Because people aren't as social as they used to be. Which I'm also guilty of, but you know, it's still a thing, right? And even aside from just that, like, it's just hard to find, like, places to go where people are actually going. You know, like, when I got back into that Scrabble club, I was thinking, you know, like, it could be a nice way to meet some people who were, like, more or less my age. You know, like, a couple, right? And for what it's worth, there were, like, exactly a couple people my age. And then almost everybody else were, like, elderly people. Which is fine. Like, they're sweet old people. I enjoyed, like, playing with them, of course. But also, there's like, a limit to how much of, like, a genuine connection I can build with somebody who's, you know, like, come up in such a different time. It's always tricky as well for me because being so engrossed into, like, VTubing, as much as I love it, it's very much a lifestyle. And it is a lifestyle where a lot of the time you kind of want to sort of like suss out what kind of person you're talking to before you really let them all the way in. You know, I tend to be like a very like open person. I don't really tend to be nearly as secretive as a lot of people who get into VTubing are. But at the same time, like even then, you know, showing people like, you know, first of all, like them being able to see streams and stuff like that where, you know, they're experiencing you from a very different lens than when you would just be like talking normally. And also, like way more so than that, like the music can be very vulnerable too. Especially since I'm still experimenting in a lot of ways. I'm still new, right? I kind of like to see, you know, like, is this person like cool like that? Are they chill like that? Where I don't mind sort of letting them see both sides. Because in a lot of ways, my like VTubing personality, the way that I go about everything, it's just like a more unfiltered version of me. You know, I more or less did a lot of the same stuff even before I was a VTuber. I just think that being a VTuber let me feel like comfortable enough to crank it all the way. You know what I mean? A lot of the time it can be embarrassing to like do projects that are vulnerable like music and you know, just creating anything that involves like a lot of people, big budgets and stuff like that. Because if it's like plastered around with your face and your name and people who don't understand, you know, what's going on in your personal life are gonna see it, it can be kind of like embarrassing, you know, thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have to think of how I can explain it to you know, these people like my family or these friends who I like these people, but they don't engage in the same hobbies and interests in this like pocket of my like interest and personality. We don't overlap there, you know. How do I explain that to people? And it can be difficult, right? It can be tricky. It can be off-putting to work on stuff that forces you to be a little bit more of your unadulterated self. And I think that becoming a VTuber was like really, really healing for me. And at the same time, made it so much harder to socialize with people in real life. Because how am I supposed to talk about like my life and what's going on and what's popping when everything feels like it has to do with the VTubing, and I want to like have more like filtration over who I let in for that side of things, right? Personally, just in terms of like my own comfort, how I feel about doing that. Sometimes, you know, it's like I don't want just anybody to look at it because I don't want them to like share it around with my actual name. I don't want them to, you know, think that it's weird because it's like inspired by a genre of music they wouldn't really be listening to. There's a whole host of misinterpretations and awkward scenarios that can come up out of like opening up to being a VTuber or just a creative in general, when, you know, you're talking to people who really don't like engage with anything like that. And I think that having friends who aren't like also creatives is important because it's grounding. It keeps you grounded in reality. But at the same time, you gotta like make sure that they are still like looking out for your best interests and they're trying to understand enough to filter your experience through theirs instead of just like painting their idea of your experience onto you and sort of hoping that you roll with whatever label they've decided to drop on. Because some people are like that, you know what I mean? They formulate their own opinions based on how they like first impression interpret something, and they just kind of roll with that. Like, even if you have like a totally different experience from that you want them to like be more privy to. And you oftentimes don't have much you can do about people who are closed-minded like that. And it can be worse because you don't want them to like misrepresent your experience to somebody who actually would be more like apt to listen in and try and visualize things from your like actual genuine perspective. And so that's why I find myself being kind of tight-lipped about stuff in real life is, you know, I gotta suss out if people are chill like that. You know, if they actually care. Instead of just wanting to like have some sort of preconceived idea about what I'm doing or who I am or whatever, and then forming their opinion on that in terms of how we interact. It's a delicate tightrope, because I think that I would rather lean more into the small amount of good connections I have currently than just be friends with anyone for the sake of it. But you have to walk the tightrope, because if you never open up to anybody, then you'll never make new friends, and you can't rely on the same people forever, you know what I mean? Like, things do change as you get older, and having like a diverse support network is super clutch and good. And I like it. Shout out friends. Shout out friendship. I need some water. There's something about Minecraft music that makes me feel so philosophical. I feel like every time I stream Minecraft, I just start talking about life. In the deepest ways. Meanwhile, you look at the screen, I'm just digging a hill. So I can build my whimsical horse racetrack. But it's fun to have like autopilot activities like that. It's just chill. It's kind of like the same thing as ruminating while you clean. I don't know if you guys can relate to that. I feel like I don't do a lot of cleaning relatively, because my dad is really nice. And anytime I offer to help clean stuff, he's like, no, I got it. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay. If you need any help, just let me know. And he never does. He never lets me know. Well, I mean that as in like he never asks me for help. Not that he needs the help, but doesn't say it or something. But cleaning can definitely be one of those things where you're just kind of like, you just get in a zone. And you're just kind of vibing. While your hands are just kind of moving on their own. That being said, the alternative experience for cleaning is like you have plans with somebody and then they hit you with the, okay, I'm going to be there in 10 minutes. And you're like, oh, I haven't cleaned yet. That was literally me yesterday. You know, I knew that I was going to hang out with one of my IRL friends. I wasn't sure if they were going to come here, if I was going to go there, if we were going to go out, what the plan was. I just wanted to link up, offer him some cookies, have a good time. It's been a while, you know. And as soon as I was like in a call with a different friend online, my IRL friend, he messaged me. He's like, okay, I'll be there in 5. And I'm like, oh, I haven't cleaned. There's like dirty clothes on my floor. I need a vacuum. There's like a pizza box I need to put away. Like, it was messy. I was like, oh no. At least he gave me the 5 minutes heads up, because it was enough to clean things out a little bit. I also feel like I always have to like air out my room. I gotta open my windows, because my nose is really bad. I don't know why, but I have like a very weak sense of smell. But I have no AC in my room, and You know, I tend to just kind of melt in here, like I'm used to it. But apparently, you know, my room sometimes kind of smells if I don't open my windows often enough. Which isn't, like, surprising, I suppose. But I never notice it. I'm nose blind to everything with that. And, you know, when it comes to, like, my room being really hot, like, I'm just used to it because it's just been that way for so many years. But, you know, I always feel more conscientious about it when people are coming over, because you gotta be a good host to the best of your degree, you know. There's only so much I can do, but, you know, I'll do what I can do, though, to make it nicer for them to visit. Okay. We're making pretty good progress on clearing this hill so far. Pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. I was saying how it's like kind of expensive, but maybe I'm gonna ask my friend to go out and play some badminton sometime soon, because honestly, it's been way too long. It has been way too long. Like, badminton is so fun, bro. I miss playing badminton. Or, like, sports in general. I feel like I never appreciated sports enough when I was younger, because I was very out of shape. I was very cynical. I was, like, permanently both malnourished and also sleep deprived, so I was just really tired all the time. Like, in hindsight, it makes perfect sense to me why I thought that sports and gym sucked as a kid. And in hindsight, as an adult, you know, I went like the opposite route as most people. I was like, damn, bro, sports are kind of lit. Why did I never get into this when I was younger? Because it can be fun, you know. That being said, I think that I'm kind of intimidated by big groups of people I don't know. So I don't tend to gravitate towards big team sports. Even though I think they would be fun if I settled in properly. I'm just like socially anxious about getting into it. But badminton was always really fun for me. I got into it because of my dad. And I always really enjoyed it, to be honest. It's like a good balance of like running around and, you know, getting to like hit the ball. Well, not the ball, but the bird, right? You know, you get like the power aspect of it. There's like some strategy to your positioning and what kind of shots you take. I like it. I think that, you know, I've never played competitively, by the way. For what it's worth, I did try. Back in middle school, I remember I went to the tryouts for my school's badminton team. And because the school that I went to, it wasn't a bad school, but it wasn't like a really nice school either. We didn't have badminton nets for it. So we were playing the tryout with no nets. You just had to sort of like eyeball where the net height was supposed to be. So I remember, you know, being my young, argumentative, very on the spectrum self, I would like get really pissy about certain calls being made where I thought that they shot it too low and it got counted as fine, or, you know, I shot it where I thought it was fine and they said that it was out or whatever, right? But you know, at the end of the day, I remember like coming out of it and feeling like I was totally good to make the team, and they did not put me on the team. And in hindsight, I wonder if it was literally just my attitude. Like, it could have been skill. For what it's worth, I was not that good at badminton at the time, and I was, you know, like I said, not in good shape. But I thought that I was okay, right? I thought that I was okay, but I remember being really upset at the time that I didn't get onto the badminton team. And it might have just been because I was a bad sport during the tryouts. I was not very emotionally mature when I was younger, man. But it would be cool to like have a regular form of sports back in my life. It's just that it's expensive, man. Like, getting into stuff like that is costly. And I would probably prefer to be in a little bit better shape if I was going to. I don't have to be in good shape, but I think that I would enjoy a regular commitment and building a social circle around it more if I wasn't worried that I would like get tired and have to take a break while other people would still be playing potentially. Because, like, back when I used to play badminton, you know, even if we go for like an hour, I would have to like sit down and just rest for like 5 minutes once or twice in the hour because I didn't have the stamina to keep going. Where like nowadays, I don't honestly think I would have that for 1 hour nowadays. If I went for 2 hours, probably. 2 hours, I probably would get tired. But one, I think I got 1 hour in me. I think my cardio's a little bit better than it used to be. My breathing. You know, one thing that's kind of interesting for me is I don't know how much of it has to do with the fact that I'm just like at a healthier weight now. How much of it has to do with just growing up more. I don't know, right? But I will say that after I got into singing, like over the past several years, my breathing has felt like it's gotten significantly better. Despite the fact that it's not like I was particularly doing a lot of cardio, right? And I always thought about how like odd that was. I was like, you know, even though I didn't train or anything, I feel like I breathe better. Is singing that like transformative to going like running or, you know, like any sort of activity where you have to be moving around a lot like that? How much of a difference does it make just having like better technique when you're breathing? It's interesting food for thought. I never thought about it before, but I definitely do feel like it's played some like influence for me, which is cool. Cause I need every last little bit of help that I can get, bro. I'm not strong enough for this, you know. I need it. You know, to be fair, I have been like walking semi-regularly for a good few years. Like I do a decent amount of walking. So maybe that plays into it somewhat too. But it's not like a lot of walking. And the other thing is a lot of the time I'll just offset the walk by like getting junk food or something. Like I'll be walking, but it's like walking to the gas station or walking to a restaurant or something like that, where you're kind of going to undo the work that you did. Not always. Like sometimes I'll be like walking to the grocery store or something like that, where it is just wholeheartedly a productive trip. Or like sometimes you just walk for the sake of walking, right? You just want to go outside. But sometimes, you know, I was going to say, you know, I did say like, you know, canceling out the walk because I'm going and I'm eating something that's like not as good for me. But at the same time, I don't know that that's even like the right mentality to have, because from like a calorie burning standpoint, yes, like it is canceling out some of the work. Because, you know, it's really hard to burn calories to begin with. You don't burn that many. And if I'm going and eating junk food, I'm definitely consuming more calories than I was burning on that walk. But when it comes to, like, ability to just, like, move and breathe and stuff like that, you know, I'm not gaining so much, like, calorie excess that it's making me, like, overweight particularly, right? So it's not like I'm being weighed down. You're still gonna gain some like muscle. You're moving. You're gonna be breathing. You know, like there's benefit happening is the point, right? Like even if it's not absolute benefit, there's still benefit going on, I suppose, for your body. I think it's good to try and remember for someone like me who doesn't get out a lot, like more that it's like health is not binary, right? It's not like perfect or bad. There are plenty of ways you can like get out and do stuff where it is like, you know, even if you don't get like the maximum efficiency for your body and your health out of a walk or whatever kind of exercise you're doing because of other decisions throughout your day, it definitely does not like erase the work that you did do. It's like such a toxic mindset to be in, you know what I mean? Like I've seen some dietitians sort of use the phrase like, don't cut the things that you like, just cut them back a bit and add things that will like round it out more. And I think that that's the way, man. That's the way for sure. Like for me, that was how I, not for weight loss, but that was how I dieted for weight gain, actually, when I was really underweight and going through exposure therapy for food. It was kind of like you would still like get to eat all of the stuff that you were comfortable with eating and you eat all the time. You just also have to try like some new foods every day and try and incorporate them more often, so you're eating like more different complete meals and whatnot. And I think that was really beneficial for me. Now in the end, I think that I returned to my same ways of like eating the same food over and over most of the time, because to be truthful, I do it almost every single day. I will eat like chicken, rice, broccoli, carrots, a banana in the morning, like maybe some yogurt, depends. That's like a little bit more flexible, but like the banana and the other meal, that's like almost guaranteed on a day for me. It's very, very likely that I will eat all of those things on any given day. And truthfully, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, you get a lot of different nutrients. You get a lot of good nutrients from that. But I like that after, like, having experienced it, I can also choose to mix it up. Because back then, it wasn't so much that I was choosing to eat the same, like, foods all the time, because I just genuinely liked them a lot, and they had, like, good nutrition to them, and it was easy. It worked well for my lifestyle, right? Not because it was like a good choice by my own values. It was more so like, I don't have any other options because I don't like anything else, so I will eat this food, right? And then, food becomes like a very binary experience. It's not very fun. It's very, very easy to not care about what you're eating when you do shit like that. So I think like adding variety is very important in that regard. But I think it all comes back to like, there's not a right way, like a one right way to be healthy. There's like so many factors that go into it. And I think that part of it is social media, I want to say, where, it's like you're watching these people who are like really established in their own routines. They might have researched a lot of science to come to their conclusions. It might just be like a very large anecdotal pool of evidence where they've just lived a certain way for a long time and they feel very confident about how they live. And none of those are wrong, right? But you see these people who have like everything figured out, and you almost feel like you have to live like so perfectly if you're gonna bother trying to be healthier. You gotta do everything perfect. You gotta count your calories. You gotta put your protein powder in everything. You gotta do this workout this many times a week, and you gotta avoid these foods and, whatever, right? When in reality, it's just like, just eat less junk, eat more, like, different nutritional stuff, and just move. Like, especially in the case of somebody like me, where I think for my entire life, to be honest, I can't say that I've been terminally online my entire life, because it wouldn't be true, but I have been terminally on technology my whole life. It wasn't always like the internet per se, but I have been like very, very glued to technology forever, I grew up where, like I would just be gaming like as a kid, like all the time. And I think that it's not an uncommon sort of progression line anymore for young people, for better or for worse. But I think there's a lot of value in just kind of saying like, okay, I don't have to do anything perfect for it to be a good thing that I got up and I had a walk today, or I got up and I moved some weight, or I did some push-ups or whatever. I will say though, having exercise equipment makes things so much more fun, dude. I won't lie. I will not lie. It makes things way more fun. Like, so we have a like workout machine at home. It's called Total Gym, I think. And basically what it is it's literally just like a little board on a pulley system. So you have these like two handles. And as you pull them from the base, it will pull the board. But you, obviously, since you're sitting on the board, you're like adding your body weight to it. Plus you can like change the incline of the board. So the steeper it is, the more at an incline you're pulling effectively yourself, the harder it is on your body, right? And initially, I couldn't enjoy the machine like at all because my hair is too long. So I was scared that since the board isn't very long, if I laid down on it, my hair would get stuck in like the wheel that the pulley is like going along, and I would like rip my hair out and cry or something. I don't know. And so recently, for a few, just for like a couple different uses, this included, my dad bought me some hairnets. And I was using a hairnet while I was baking, which I've never done before, but I mean, why not, right? It's not like I was getting hair into stuff. You know, I asked my dad, I was like, did I get hair in your food or something? And he was like, no, that hasn't happened in years. I just thought it would be like a decent idea. And I was like, okay, sure. And so I was trying that out, right? And while I had it on, like once I finished, I was like, you know, we were talking about how maybe if I used a hairnet, it would keep my hair out of the way so that I could use the workout machine. I could actually like lay down and have like a larger range of motion in terms of the types of exercises I could do without having to worry about my hair. And it was definitely a success. I thoroughly enjoyed being able to just kind of do whatever on the machine. It was a lot more fun as well, like this time, because I think the first time that I tried using the machine, I was looking at like they had their own workout routine, like cards that came with it, where it would like tell you all the exercises with a little diagram, and you know, you would go through them in order and whatnot. And to be honest with you, like I'm sure that they're good routines for building like muscle and stuff like that. But it was too complicated. There was like too many like random attachments you had to put on the machine and moving around a bunch between different exercises. And it was just like the barrier of entry felt too high. I was uninterested. It wasn't fun. I didn't really understand what I was doing. So, you know, I came back at it after like talking to my dad and like seeing how he does stuff a bit more. And it was like, I just kind of, you know, the point was just to push shit around. It wasn't to like do perfect exercises or whatever for targeted muscle growth. I went in there, I did some different push movements, some different pull movements, and that was enough, you know, like I was content with that. And I had a lot more fun, just kind of like throwing on my music and just letting myself just move without thinking. Just push. It was chill. Although some of it was hard. I think I'm gonna be sore tomorrow, bro. I think my shoulders and my arms are gonna hurt tomorrow, potentially. I don't know about hurt, but they'll probably be sore. Like I don't feel it at all right now, but I find that usually it's the next day that kills you. But, you know, I don't know that I'll get, like, more into working out as, like, a daily routine type of thing, like, getting into habit building of it. But it wouldn't be a bad thing if I did. Like, I could see it happening. I thought the gym arc was dead because I don't have any, like, gyms in my area that I could rely on. But maybe it's not, bro. Maybe the workout arc is still alive. I mean, honestly, however it pans out, you know, I'm not like particularly gonna be super hard on myself to be like working out as much as possible or anything crazy. But also, I think that it was like a nice way to blow off some energy. And I think one of the like most valuable experiences I've had with trying to exercise a bit more is it's one of those few activities, it feels like, where the barrier to start is actually not that high, and you don't get like an immediate dopamine release, but like you get like enough dopamine, you feel good afterwards without it being like a dopamine explosion nuclear bomb like a lot of games are. You know, a lot of the time if you're in a kind of bad mood, you're kind of tired, and you know, you're just looking for something to not feel so like groggy, it's easy to like open social media or open a game or something, and you might feel better, but oh my god, dude, doing anything productive afterwards feels like a gargantuan task, like a Herculean effort to do anything, because you're just so spoiled from like playing the game. It's like such free dopamine. It's too free that you no longer feel like actually doing anything. Whereas with working out, it's like you still feel good after you do it, and it's not that hard to achieve it. Because there are a lot of other like tasks that I can do that for a similar result. Like doing audio work, it's boring. I won't lie to you. Most of audio work, some of it's fun. Like maybe 20%, maybe 20% of the process is like mentally stimulating, like very mentally stimulating and fun. And then like most of the time spent is pretty boring, if I'm being honest. There's a lot of like very like repetitive work that doesn't take much thought involved. And when you finish it, it feels really good. But you gotta like really have the motivation or the like pressure to do it. Because if you're like not feeling particularly any sense of urgency, it is so easy to like just get bored. Especially because a lot of it, you're not really working with your eyes, you're working with your ears. So my horrible, like plagued, social media plagued brain is like, you know, while I listen to if this sounds good, I can open social media and have something to look at with my eyes. And that's bad. That's not a good thing. You don't want to be doing that. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, if you're doing that, then you're going to not like feel motivated to keep working, because you're gonna be looking at social media, and it's gonna give you a way bigger dopamine hit than making progress on the work that you're just sort of slowly churning through is doing. Like, it's not fair. It's coughing baby versus atomic bomb. The real life work accurate version of that meme, bro, is like your job versus 2 seconds of scrolling Twitter. Like, you're not even necessarily gonna feel happy, but your brain is still gonna be like, ooh. And then all of a sudden you don't work anymore. But like, exercise feels like one of those things where you can actually like blow off some of that tiredness, even though you're exerting yourself, and, you know, feel good afterwards, but not like deplete all of your like drive for the day. I remember, I think it was like Dr. K a while back. I don't watch Dr. K much anymore, but I used to watch him a lot. And something that he described that I really liked for visualizing it is that every day you start with like a full health bar of dopamine. And you know, as you go through the day, you will deplete it with what activities you're doing. It's like skill points, and what like choices you make for the day, you're gonna spend your skill points, and you can get like a big reward through like a slow amount of effort if you expend like a bunch of effort on something that doesn't cost that many of your skill points, and you just stick it out. So if you're like working on something that's difficult and slow, You know, while you're in the moment, it'll be a slog. But after you, like, finish your work, you're gonna get, like, just the same big dopamine hit. And you still have, like, a ton of energy to do other shit for the day. You know what I mean? You're not gonna feel tired out because you finished working on a project at the start of the day, or, like, making the progress that you wanted on it. But, you know, if you choose to go for an easy, like, big hit by, I don't know, like, watching YouTube or playing a game or, like, any other social media, stuff like that, right? It's like you're gonna get a big release, but it costs so many more of your, like, dopamine skill points for the day that now when you have to be productive later, you know, you have less resource to spend on that activity. And on top of that, it sucks because it's like a reminder to yourself that there's something right there beside you that you could just open for 2 seconds, and it would give you the same, like, feeling of happiness that you're spending, like, hours churning away at whatever you're doing to try and accomplish. When it's not the same happiness. It's a very shallow happiness that goes away almost instantly. But in the moment, your brain can, like, trick itself. And so you gotta, like, be smarter than yourself. You have to, like, it's a resource management game in real life. Is like you're sequencing. You know what? Actually, it's just like umamusume. Hear me out. If you train, like, all the way down to low energy immediately, then you have to spend a turn resting. But if you, like, spend your time prioritizing, like, events that will give you something that turn, even if it's not quite as big of a, like, a point gain in one turn, you will gain something that turn, and you'll also recover energy. Then over the course of the run, you can spend more actions. You can do more things, right? It's exactly like that in real life. That's crazy. That's crazy that you can use umamusume as a parallel for IRL productivity, considering that that game has been the antithesis of my own productivity IRL. That game has been anything but productive for me, but it did serve perfectly in the metaphor that I wanted to deliver in that moment. What a funny revelation. A silly way to think of things. It's cool we finished this hill finally. Right on cue for me to start talking about umamusume. I finally finished my hill, which means that I actually get to build the racetrack now. Ooh, did I give enough space to turn here? No. Because I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 of these on this side. And this is only enough room for 3. So if these are each gonna be like 1, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it goes like here. Is where we start turning? Question mark. I'm not good at building stuff. I'm just kind of vibing. I feel like I've never been the type of person, even when I did play Minecraft a lot when I was younger, to, like, optimize for building really cool stuff. I was much more into, like, trying to create almost like mini games and stuff of that nature. I would do that with my friends, like, so much as a way to, like, kill the time. Which was really fun back in the day. Like, I remember I was talking in my friend Calico's stream chat, and I think at one point I said that I was like very creatively bankrupt when I was younger. And the truth is, I was like maybe the most creative I've ever been in my life when I was a kid. Like, I think that I'm pretty creative again nowadays, but you know, when I was young, I had like a wild imagination, probably because I played so many video games from such a young age. I was just exposed to like so many different ideas, and like they didn't have to be realistic, you know what I mean? Like, I remember with my friend, we wanted to play Pokemon in Minecraft before the mods for that really existed, because we did get super into the mods for that when they came around. But back before then, what we did is we would literally just have like a bunch of wolves in game, and we would just like dye the collar of the dog into like whatever color for a different type, and then we would just use splash potions to like give them characteristics. So you could like have a green one where you get to throw poison at your opponent, or you could have like a red one where you get to throw regeneration at yourself or something, you know, which is like such a stretch of a workaround, but at the time, like as kid me, that was a sick workaround. It was epic, because it was letting me like combine like two different worlds. Or, you know, like back when I was younger, we would like pretend to be playing Minecraft in fucking recess time, like just outside. And instead of just being like a normal kid and playing sports or playing tag or whatever, I don't know, pretending to play family or house if you're like with the girls, depends. Didn't have to with the girls specifically, but it was mostly the girls that would do that. You know, but we were over here pretending to be like fucking playing Minecraft, taking over the world, being super awesome and powerful. And in hindsight, it sounds kind of cringe. But to be cringe is to be free. And as a kid, boy, was I free. I was flying high, man. Yeah, I have, like... I feel like I don't like looking at my younger self. So I don't really watch them. But there are, like, family videos of me from when I was, like, 3 or 4. When I could, like... just sort of start to have literacy, start to be my own person, right? And my dad would take video. I would make my dad record videos of me playing with like various action figures and making whole characters out of them, making stories out of them. Like realistically, you know, I was making videos before YouTube like hardly existed as a like actual child. Just because I thought it was like cool to be able to look back on myself like playing and making these characters and whatnot, right? Maybe it's a full circle moment that I got into VTubing, where you like legit come up with a character and like to represent yourself and whatnot. That was not me back then. I was just making like random ass characters, yeah. Like I remember I posted about it a little bit, but I was sort of setting up my old Wii for if I wanted to bring it on stream at some point, which I do want to bring it on stream at some point and play some old nostalgia games. But I had to go through and delete, like, unironically, dozens of me's from my Wii of, like, random people. They would look like completely normal people. They would have completely normal people names. Like, I could have, like, a random me of, like, a guy named Jason who looks like an NPC. Because, truthfully, he was. I was just out here in the character creators making a bunch of characters with no further motive other than just to make them. And I don't know why I did that when I was younger, but I loved doing it. And I did it all the time. I would do that with like Legos. I always, instead of collecting like sets for things to build, I would just like have the big base plates as like a ground to start from. I had my bricks for anything specific I wanted, and I would just collect like a bunch of characters, like a bunch of the figures with Lego, so that what I would do is I would use that to make like a whole bunch of characters and like tell stories over like, you know, making videos or just having fun, where I would just be like making up characters and playing with my Legos and shit instead of building like most people did when they were kids. But I was really creative when I was a kid. I don't know why it like low-key died for me when I was in high school, but it feels good to be back in touch with my creative side after getting older. In, you know, whatever capacities. Just because not being creative kind of sucks sometimes. Okay, I don't think this track is like perfectly even per se, but it'll be good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. Make it first, make it good later. Moral of today's story. Hello, Chainik. How's it going? Let me see. How wide do I want to make this? It'd be cool if it was like 5 wide even, so that I had like space to put fencing on the sides. That would be neat. We're making it dirt, like a dirt track, not dirt turf, a dirt track, so that I can have Haruura running on it. Makes sense. Just woke up. Good morning. You should have a nice breakfast. I say that. I had like the laziest breakfast this morning. My breakfast this morning was leftover pizza that I had from yesterday, which, to be fair, is a super hype breakfast on paper. Like, it's not the most energizing choice per se, but it is very tasty. Definitely something to look forward to. I'm gonna have to like go back to my house to pick up more dirt. We've actually managed to use up most of the dirt. Let's see if I gotta get more dirt. I ran out. It's okay. I have like, unironically, probably at least 20 stacks of dirt in my house. I was thinking to myself that maybe I should make like a trash bin. Like, you know, where you, I don't know if I have a cactus actually, but you know where you like do the thing where you put a cactus with a trap door and then you open it and you can just like throw your items in there and they'll get deleted. I was thinking I should do that because I have so much dirt. But in hindsight, it's actually a brilliant decision by me that I chose to not throw my dirt away so that I can use it to build the track itself. Brrr. Oh, there actually is a zombie like right there. I heard him. I didn't realize he was like right underneath of me. He's right behind me, isn't he, zombie? Let's see, so that's 3, 4, 5. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sit down, sit down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sit down, sit down. Oh man, good old Giga music. My classics. I'm kind of surprised, right? I'm thinking back. I don't think I sung any Giga songs in our last karaoke. That's gotta be like a personal record or something. Like, I swear I always have Giga songs in my set list. That feels crazy. Almost feels like something's wrong with me. I don't think I had any Suisse either. The two usuals completely just gone. To be fair, it was like a themed one, so it would have been a tighter fit. I don't know if Giga has any songs that specifically strike me as like summer. There are songs that could go in anyway because they're just like good vibes. They're not necessarily like summery vibes. Doing theme set lists was fun. I should do that more often. Let me see. I know Calico was talking about maybe doing a karaoke soon, which I'm hoping for it. Because I haven't heard Calico do a karaoke in a while. So it would be fun to see. I think my track is almost done here. I just need fence posts. I need to till the ground. And maybe it would be nice if I mined this wall one further so that it's not like pressing right up against the edge of the track. It'll look like slightly more aesthetically pleasing. It'll still look unnatural because it's clearly like I shaved the hill in half, but at least the fences won't be like sticking to the wall. They'll be like just out in the open. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like one of those, I don't have OCD, but it's one of those OCD type things where, you know, the fact that on the rest of the track the fencing will look normal, but here it would be like attaching itself to the wall, it would look weird. And it would be unsatisfying. I don't think I have to go the whole way though. I can go like to here is fine. Now we just gotta mine the stone. It's been a while since I've actually used the pickaxe. It's a good thing I went mining for iron at the start of the stream. I had no like plan behind it. I was like, I don't know exactly how I want to do this yet, so I'm just gonna go and do some mining while I think about it. And in reality, it worked very well because I needed like about 10 trillion shovels. Alright, I'm still gonna need more shovels too, actually, because it uses durability to till the ground. I don't have any more iron on me, so I'll just take stone. And I need fencing. I'll start with, well, I need a boatload of sticks. Copious amount of sticks. I'll start with fence gates. That's not fence gates. This is so that we can get our horse onto the track. I need like a walkway. I need to set up like a good way to get onto a straightaway that leads to the track. Could do it sort of like this. We'll like make a stairway here. Still got more dirt. So we can go like these. And now the horse can like walk up here. And we can have some gates. Not filling up the hole remind me of the one time-lapse build. Using a ravine for the base, dirt layer was just placed in the middle of the ravine. Just chilling in your village in the ravine, and then suddenly the sky is blocked by dirt layer. I mean, having a village in the middle of a ravine is pretty crazy to begin with, I feel like. That's kind of awesome. But yeah, that is funny for sure. I didn't like totally fill in everything, but I did fill in like a decent amount of stuff. No, wait, oh my, I just crafted a billion fence gates by accident. I'm stupid, I wasn't paying attention. Ah! Guess we're going to cut some more wood. No, I used all of my sticks on that too. Oh, it was supposed to be regular fences. I have a jungle out there. Oh, shit. I didn't remember that. I think I've been there, though, maybe. I think a very diverse point to have my village. I feel like there's lots of ways to go. I always like living somewhere in a Minecraft world where I can pick up like a bunch of different kinds of wood. Not that I tend to actually use it very often. Like I'll be like hoarding wood, like some sort of like rare merchant NPC who's gonna ask you for 12 emeralds for 3 jungle wood. But you know, I still like to have it just in case, right? Like just in case I have a cool idea and I think jungle wood would be perfect or whatever. And I never actually use it. Okay, I have over a stack, so I should be more than fine. I'll keep like a bit. We'll make a whole load of stuff here. May not use it, but I like the idea of having them all. Exactly. Call it like being a kleptomaniac. Just being a collector. I don't know. I don't know what degree is the correct sort of terminology. But sometimes in games it's nice to just have a bunch of stuff just in case, even if you don't expect to use it. There we go. I don't know if this will be enough fencing, but we'll find out. Commence outlining the track. This is gonna be so cool. Like, I've obviously had horses in Minecraft before, but I've never built like a racetrack or something like that. The umamusume brain rot is showing me new ways to enjoy totally unrelated games. Also, wow, I had nowhere near enough fence. Oh my god. It'll get me like halfway-ish. Something like half. This is still pretty narrow, actually. I could honestly make the inside thicker still. I have dirt in here? No. So I gotta get more wood. And I'll also grab more dirt from my house once we're over, or while we're over here. I gotta send this to my friends later. Show them the Minecraft racetrack. It's really short. This is definitely a sprint. I mean, hey, Haru Urara running sprint dirt, that is like lore accurate right there. You might call it laziness, I call it attention to detail. I call it strategic thinking. It just so happens that I wanted to name the horse after my son, who is a dirt sprint runner. You know what's kind of sad? I had to disband my Urara my son club on umamusume. Well, had to is a strong word, but I disbanded the club because there are like pretty good things that you can get from farming like club points, which requires like having other people around. And unfortunately, that club was dead. Like I asked a couple of my friends to join, but it wasn't like there wasn't enough action going on. So I was like, all right, you know, I'm gonna join somebody else's club. Haru Urara will still always be my son because daughter didn't fit. That's like such a stupid reference for me. I'm always gonna think about. It always feels so stupid too, because I swear to God, like every single horse in umamusume that I've run into, literally all of them, are guys in real life, like male horses in real life, except for Haru Urara. She is like the only female racing horse I have come across in all of my time, and even so, is still my son. She's just an icon like that. A different breed. I just realized we're only fencing the outside right now. I'm gonna need so much fence. Oh my goodness gracious. There's no way I'm gonna have enough fence. I'll try. Oh wait, I have a lot of oak though. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. There's 3 stacks of fencing, right? Or oh, I need more stick. Use a few. We got a little over 2 stacks. Oh, I can do more actually. Wait. Okay, we got like nearly 3 stacks right now. We'll see how that does. I gotta add more dirt as well. I'm gonna make the track wider. Remember the funny thing? We're preparing a couple of mod packs to eventually play. In our search, we stumbled upon an umamusume mod. Yo, that's fire. That's sick. Oh my god. I don't even know how that would work, but I'm glad that somebody out there is trying to do it. Okay, wait, let me make sure I'm doing this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yup. Okay, everything should be 6 from the fence post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. So these are all 6 out. So this needs to be 2 more. Then from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, but I don't have the fencing here. Or no, yeah. Like this. For these 2. And then, okay, yeah, I understand. It's like weird because there's like the corners are relatively getting smaller because I'm making it wider. So I have to like figure out how the math works. Oh, wait. Why does this turn so weirdly? Let me start placing some of the fencing so I can actually visualize this. Because as it stands, I'm confused. I've gone and confused myself. I feel like my like visual memory is not very good. I need to like actually actively see it right in front of me to compare directly, or else my brain just implodes. Okay, let's see. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this should be like this. Oh, wait. Oh. I see what's wrong. The curvature here is happening out of sync with the track. So it should be like this. All of these are like 1 too early. Ah, I get it. This is why sometimes it's important to actually slow down and like do things one step at a time. But also, I don't know that I would have clocked that if I hadn't just, like, stopped to try and place the fences down first anyway. Okay. So, I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This should be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And then from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay. So we have the outline of the track. I just need to fence the inside line now, which is probably going to take more deforestation. Because I don't think I have enough wood. Or enough fences. Oh, I have a stack left. Hold up. Let me cook. Imagine the time save. I need to make a new axe. I ran out. Man, you really blow through so many tools doing stuff like this, man. I feel like it'd be a really funny stat to see how many iron tools has somebody burned through in their entire Minecraft account history. How many pickaxes have you broken? I feel like for a lot of people it'd be tons. Also, I am 3 fences away, or like 2 even, I think. Surely I can just make that. Oh, I overcrafted sticks, so now I can't. Ha ha ha! Okay, I need to go get some more iron, make more tools. Wait, did I use... I used all of my iron. No! I have to use stone. I have to go back to the Stone Ages, dude. This sucks. Oh my god. I'm so spoiled. I don't want to go back to caveman. Ah. Stand ready for my arrival. Oh boy. Oh boy, no war crimes here, please. Devotion to YouTube shows goodness in you. Oh my god. That's so funny. Nah, I mean, it's true though. Like, I used to be a Twitch streamer before I was a VTuber, but like, I can't with the ads on that platform, bro. I can't. In some way, like, the ads on YouTube have gotten kind of bad from what I've heard, but I don't totally mind because premium is like a pretty decent subscription, you know. I use the music platform, I watch videos, I watch streams, like I get a lot of different media consumption out of it, right? Like Twitch Turbo exists, but I don't be watching enough live streams like all the time to be justifying a subscription service entirely devoted to it. You know what I mean? To me, it almost feels like buying like a subscription service to a platform like perpetually knowing I'm gonna watch like one episode of a show every month. Maybe not quite that little, but like, you know what I mean? I definitely don't know that YouTube is like some savior godsend platform. Like YouTube does plenty of annoying stuff too. At the end of the day, mega corporations are gonna mega corporate. It is what it is. But in terms of like, you know, where I prefer to be, I like YouTube. I like the culture on YouTube. Interested in them adding copper tools? I'm not a player to rush resource gathering, so I don't have enough iron to throw around for a while, but there's a lot of copper. If the copper tools work at a similar speed, then that would be pretty nice. Although I do kind of wonder though, like, would they be enough faster than stone that it's worth the hassle? Because stone is incredibly easy to get tools for. Like stone tools are super convenient in terms of like how easy they are to procure. The downside is that they're slow. And the durability is lower. I don't know. I guess it would depend how much of a stepping stone there even is like room to be. I would have to look at like the numbers on like how much durability stone versus iron tools have. Bro, who is like revving their engine all the way to max outside of my window right now? I swear to God, every time I ever see in my neighborhood like a vehicle go by with those like absolutely raring engines, it is never a sports car. It's like a 50-50 if it's a motorcycle or like some regular ass family car, like beater ass car that for some reason just has like a crazy muffler on it. I don't know if it's like an old car that's just fighting for its life, or if somebody was like, you know what, I'm gonna modify my fucking Kia family van to sound like a Lamborghini. I don't know what the scenario is a lot of the time, but it always baffles me how like normal some of the cars be looking when they sound like they belong on an F1 track. Have any stone on me, bro? I'll just mine some stone. I got stone right here. There. Now I got stone on me. Boom. But I think this shovel is gonna run out before I finish paving the racetrack. This is exciting. We're almost done, dude. We've almost got the full-blown racetrack. We're gonna get to ride the horse. I got the horses in the back. Horseback is attached. Hat is matty black, and the boots is black to match. Yo, I do wear black boots canonically. The design is all I'm missing is the cowboy hat. And then we're perfectly set for the Old Town Road. weird that I put coffee on my cereal. That sounds like an absolutely diabolical decision, I won't lie. See, my thing with it is I don't even necessarily hate the idea from a flavor standpoint, right? Like, cocoa tastes good, right? Coffee tastes good, and I think that, like, hypothetically, it could work. My problem is, like, it's not cold unless you're using iced coffee for your breakfast, which feels odd for cereal, but like, do you cool it, or are you just eating hot cereal? This is the guy out here. This is the is cereal soup argument's strongest soldier right now. Bro's got the warm coffee, hot coffee, cooking his cereal in the morning. If the is cereal soup crowd has ever had an argument, this guy is fighting their strongest battles. Because, like, at that point, could you call it broth? Maybe, I don't know. I feel like there are other cultures that cook with coffee. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some group of people out there that have, like, a type of soup that's made with coffee as, like, a base. And so, hypothetically, maybe cereal could be soup. It doesn't feel correct. It feels like I'm breaking several conventions, but perhaps there's merit. You know, if it makes you happy, then you know what? Who cares if it's a war crime or not? You eat your cereal the way that you like it, man. As long as you enjoy it, that's what matters. I should add some, like, torching around the arena, shouldn't I? We'll do, like, every 3 blocks or so. Or, I don't know about that, actually. We'll do these corners. Excuse me. I have it, like, every 2 right now, so let's keep trying that. Ah! The one torch! I want to go get it, but I can't. Some people called me a madman, some called me a genius. Why not both? That is mad scientist behavior. That is like, I don't have the budget to be making concoctions, so instead I'm making cereal with hot coffee because I'm not satiated by normal breakfast, like, criteria. I need to compact my experience. It's too much to have the coffee on one side, the cereal as a separate entity. You gotta, like, you're trying to optimize your breakfast to get it all done in as few steps as possible. See, I don't eat cereal all the time like that, but a lot of the time, my favorite cereal is probably Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because the shit just tastes really good. It's very much like a snack adjacent breakfast cereal, but I like it, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, if I would never try this because I don't even like coffee, but if I were to hypothetically do something like that, that would feel like the equivalent of waking up and going to, like, Starbucks for an ice cap in the morning or something. like a coffee that's not really coffee type order. I mean, I've tried doing that, but I feel like ice caps, they make me, like, so jittery, dude. It's like too much sugar. Different kind of mustard? Do I want to know, bro? Oh, God. Can I have coffee, please? Yes, me. Just give me water, man. I'm a water enjoyer. Water will always hit the spot for me. I don't need no caffeine. I'm not about that caffeine dependency lifestyle. All right. The moment we've been waiting for. We have Haru Urara. Woo! Look at my daughter. Hello. And we went and we built a racetrack. Can I sprint? Is there sprinting? There is, right? So space jumps. How do you sprint with a horse? Because I think you can, right? I guess I don't have a like a finish line yet, actually. How shall I do that? Let's do like here-ish. We'll do white wool, and I don't have black wool, so we're just gonna use like cobblestone. I don't even have cobblestone. Ah. Okay, I can just mine some stone. Hold up. Wait a minute. Boom, bang, boom, bing, boom, 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 bop, bam. Type of shit I'm on you wouldn't understand. What? Come on, please stay on the track. Okay. How do I run? That's my question. How do I sprint? Can horses sprint in Minecraft? You use the sprint key, usually the same one for your player sprinting, often left control. Oh, okay. I didn't even realize that you like use, yeah, okay, interesting. It is left control. I never do that. I always just double tap. Okay, I don't even know what you're talking about at this point, dude. I'm gonna give you like a 5-minute timeout for just spamming random off-topic shit. But thank you though. I'm sorry. So I'd be like, if there are water fans, if there are 1 million water fans, I am among them. If there are 10,000 water fans, I am one of them. If there is one water fan, it is me. If there are no water fans, then I am no longer on this planet. Water is the greatest drink, and I will die on this hill forever. Yippee! We took him out. We took out the coffee mafia. Water gang must stay strong. Hold our dominance. Also, I just realized I didn't torch the inside of the fencing, so I want to do that. Wait. Make it look like more full. You know, I always felt weird about having like a solo Minecraft world because I always feel like I have no idea what to build. But then sometimes you just get like a random spark like this, like the idea to build a fucking horse racing track. Because I've been playing a bunch of umamusume. And now, you know what? I will look back on this if I come back into my world in the future, and it will remind me of the umamusume like hype phase, and it'll be really funny and wholesome. This will be like a time capsule in a few years. Of an era gone by. Why do I keep hearing like zombies nearby, man? Leave me alone. Bruh is right, bro. Get away. Leave me alone, man. The track is not even, but it's fine. All right, I'm gonna run back to my house and sleep, and then we will horse racing. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not team coffee, but Coffee Run is a chill guy though. I wonder how much he actually drinks coffee. Like, to put coffee in your name, I feel like you have to really be about the lifestyle, but also it could just be something that randomly stuck. Okay, wait, hold on. Screw the Minecraft music. Umamusume title screen music. Alright, here we go. We have Haru Urara on the 1200 meter sprint. Oh wait, this is the singing version. Wait, no, I just want the instrumental one. Okay, I found the one I was thinking of. Alright, here we go. Yippee! Go for the sprint. Oh my goodness. The swinging maestro proc stamina recovery. Final sprint. There's a fucking creeper on the side. Ah! Beautiful. What a work of art that we've just built. Creeper jealous of my beautiful racetrack. It's actually kind of fun though. If this wasn't a solo world, we gotta make a horse racing track next time we do a Minecraft server, and we gotta have everybody like bring their horses up. We do a horse race in Minecraft. That'd be hype, bro. That'd be beautiful. Like, imagine we just actually have a fucking horse racing event in Minecraft. Oh, that would be so silly. We could like make a bunch of different tracks. My name, Treasure Teapot Tea Brewer. Guess what I drink? What drink I like a lot. I respect tea drinkers a lot, though. Like, I feel like you get into coffee because you hate mornings and you have to find a way to like tolerate it. I feel like tea is usually like a very healthy habit people build. Comparatively, anyway. Anyway, that was fun to just like kick it. It was very philosophical for a while. Then we actually finished the racetrack, which was fun. This is a successful stream. Couple hours well spent in a sense of fun. We also used all of my iron. I have no iron left. Next time I play, I have to go mining for like a boatload of iron. But look at that. Ain't that cool? Now the real umamusume experience would be if I just got on the track and ran it on foot. Nah, but that was fun. I'm probably gonna be done for today. I'm planning on streaming again tomorrow, probably at normal time. Go back to the usual 3 p.m. streams. I was thinking I was gonna start my Calamity playthrough for Terraria, so probably will be doing that. Look forward to that if you like the Terraria streams. I don't know like anything much about Calamity in terms of how it actually plays. I've seen a couple boss fights and that's it. So, and like I like the music too. But that's all I know about Calamity. So it'll be interesting to try and figure it out as we go. I'll definitely be camping the wiki a little bit for that. But yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, and I will see you around tomorrow. Bye.